everyone, and welcome back to the Unashamed Homeschool. I'm Kristen. If you're new here, I'm a homeschool mom to two active boys, and on this channel, we focus on bold faith and biblical foundations. Today, I'm going to be doing an in depth review of the Math Level K course set from The Good and the Beautiful. I'll let you know what worked for us, what didn't work for us, if we kept it, if we ditched it, so please stick around. The Beautiful for my youngest son when he was technically in pre-kindergarten. He was age 4 going on age 5, but he'd shown a love for numbers. He wanted to learn how to do math. He was doing addition and subtraction books for fun. He was asking me to make math problems for him. So I thought this would be a good, gentle introduction into math, something that was not workbook heavy, something that had a lot of games. And this also came with a fun math manipulatives box, which I will show you also the inside of this as well. Okay, here is The Good and the Beautiful Math Level K. And this is what comes in the course bundle when you purchase it. Okay, so I took some of the pages out because I do create a notebook for each of my kiddos just to show the work they've done and how they progress over the years. We do not have to keep records in Texas, but I just do it for me and just to see how far they've come. So this is the intro here, and then this is the table of contents and what you'll be working on. Recognizing numbers, counting, tally marks, addition, subtraction, shapes. Let's see, patterns. You start an introduction to time, clocks. You do pattern block work, learning about money, the penny and the nickel, number bonds, a little bit of measurement in here, very beginner division, dividing groups in half, 2D and 3D shapes, calendar practice, seasons, symmetry, all those things. This is 120 lessons. Okay. So here's a hundreds chart that you'll use during different lessons. You don't need a whole lot with this course. Sorry, you can see the supplies here. Most of the things that you need come right here in this cute little math box. It's got a little magnetic closure. Anyway, oops. Comes with these little cards that you do some counting practice with, dice, less than, greater than, subtraction, less than, greater than, signs, subtraction, addition, equals. We've got counting sticks here and a couple of pawns. And so that's what comes in the math box, nice and organized for you. Anything extra, you'll need pencil, you might need some money, crayons, things like that. Okay, so this is kind of how this is set up, how to get started. You have a lesson overview. So this is for Unit 1 overview. This is for lessons 1 through 40. You can gather supplies ahead of time if you want. I'm one of those last minute moms. Do it on the fly. All right, so here's lesson 1. It does have some handwriting practice in here. We eventually stopped doing this because we're doing Danielian handwriting, and this is a little bit different than what they teach. So anything in blue you'll see is for the teacher, so that's just for you to read to yourself and figure out what you're doing. And then anything in black is instructions to read actually out loud to your child. You'll have a little box like this every lesson. So this is almost all the lessons are like this, like just one spread. Every once in a while there's another page behind here, but for the most part this is it for level K. And that's really all you need to do. You don't need to overwhelm your student at this age. So here, there's this little box here, and it's kind of a review. You want to make sure that can your son or daughter count to 15? Can they identify the colors below? Those things. is like a mini review to start off the lesson. Okay, and then here you take out the little bar, or the, excuse me, here you take out one of the little cars from the math set. My son absolutely loved these cars. He wanted to use them for everything. So they get to actually drive along the page here in the little car, and he got to pick out his color and all the good stuff. So very cute. It does keep the kiddo engaged, I think. Makes math fun, which he already loves math, so it wasn't hard for him to do that. Color matching here. Again, you have this little review section. Practice counting to 15, identify the colors. Then it introduces 10 frames. Here again, you're going to use the little cars. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we can see everything in the video. So graphing, oh no, this is, we've got 10 frames here. Number practice. So this is just one lesson here. Very short day here. And it was on days like this that he wanted to, can we do more, Mom? So sometimes we would continue on, but depending on, what else we had going on that day, if we had, a heavy load in language arts, then we would not do another lesson. But for the most part, we could do an extra one here. Here's using the counting sticks. So this was pretty neat. Something I wouldn't have thought to teach my child, but to be able to copy a picture, with actual objects. So that was an interesting concept. Okay, another one here. He had fun with that one. So just a really good start to math. They make it fun. Now, this can be overwhelming for some kiddos. My older son did not enjoy this. He very much prefers to have, just tell me what I need to do and let's get it done, because he hates math. So this can be, if you especially have a child that has problems paying attention when there's a whole lot going on. This is very busy, very colorful, very busy. So this does not work for everyone. But it's a good introduction to math, to numbers, to counting, early addition here, using pictures. Let's skip on ahead a little bit. Here's some clock practice. Here we're using pattern blocks. Oh, this was good too. I do like that they did do this part. We worked on this with my older son to memorize the parent's phone number. So again, it's those things that you wouldn't think twice to really teach your son or daughter. Sorry, I have sons, so that's what I always say. To teach them, because cell phones are so prevalent. How many phone numbers do you memorize? I know 3 off the top of my head. I used to know a ton more when we had to use landlines. So that was very important to me, and it's something that I remembered from teaching my older son. So my younger son had already memorized his parents' phone number, mine and my husband's, by the time we started this, because I remember that from the first time using the Good and Beautiful. So I really do like that. I also like that they incorporate calendar work in here and seasons. Some math curriculums do not do that. Again, it's one of those things you should teach your child, calendar work. Okay, I wanted to pause and show you guys a unit assessment first. Now, this was after lesson 38, so it's not in the correct place in the book here. This was in my son's notebook, so I had to go and pull this out. But they have these unit assessments in here throughout the course book, and it's a good way to see what your kiddo is grasping, what they need more work on. So how it works is you would go through and you would do the purple section first. Here, like addition, tally marks. And if they're struggling with that, then There's writing numbers, counting days of the week. Now, if they're struggling with that, then on another day, not the same day, on another day, you go and do additional practice and then go through the orange if they need more practice there. So see, he needed a little more practice on his addition. So we went back through and did that. A little more practice here because he had not memorized the days of the week yet. And if they're still struggling with the additional practice, then that would be your cue to go back through and maybe work through some more of those parts that they're not really understanding the concept. Addition, going through the days of the week, calendar work, things like that. You want to go back through again. So these unit assessments are built throughout the course book. Okay, continuing on. I'll just flip through a little bit more here. So now we're learning to count by twos here. If they have not mastered them, you can practice them. This is optional. You know, if your kid's flying through counting by twos, there's no need to do that extra work. You've got map work, calendar work here, and chicken addition right there. And again, these are very short and sweet lessons. It's not a whole lot to it. It's very open and go. Very open and go. So here's lesson 117. 118 there. We're getting to the end of the book. Learning shapes, shape search. So here's you can kind of see how this progressed, counting by fives here, identifying money, months of the year, learning time, AM and PM, which is very important. And there you have math level K. We did not use level K math going into his kindergarten year. We switched instead to Masterbooks math. We will not be using any more of the Good and the Beautiful products because it is my conviction not to support the LDS community. If you want more information on that, check out my fourth grade curriculum pick video, and I kind of go into a little more detail about that. But that is my conviction. It did not work for our family. Is it a good math program? Yes, I think it is a good, gentle introduction during the early years. We did use it with my oldest son as well, so I know how it progresses during math level K through second grade. However, I do know it was not enough of a spiral review for my oldest son, which is what he needed. Every child is different. But I believe we would still move away from math level K no matter who the creators are of the Good and Beautiful. We would probably still need to switch to another math program. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Also, please like and share this video. It's a good way to help support my channel, and it costs nothing to you. As always, God bless, and know that yes, you can homeschool.